Good morning, America. Welcome to the Impact Money Show. As dawn breaks over Washington, D.C., President Trump has already begun his second term with a series of bold moves that are sending shockwaves through politics, markets, and international relations. Let's explore these developments, taking a closer look at how they are shaping our world today. Political developments. President Trump's first days in office have been marked by significant executive actions. He's withdrawn from the Paris Agreement once again, signaling a departure from the global climate shenanigans and possibly redirecting national environmental policy. The announcement of 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, set to commence on February 1st, hints at tougher trade negotiations and potential global trade disruptions. But perhaps the most controversial of these actions is the pardon of about 1,500 patriots involved in the January 6th Capitol, mostly peaceful protest. These have been described by Trump as persecuted by the previous administration's Justice Department. We all saw it. We all lived it. We all know. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. This move, alongside with the rescinding of 78 Biden-era executive orders, particularly those related to immigration, the economy, and social programs, underscores a clear intent to undo the policies of Biden. Legal and judicial actions. Trump's approach to government operations has led to the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, or DOGE, as people call it, under Elon Musk, aimed at reducing bureaucratic inefficiencies. This, along with the reversal of federal working protections, suggest a significant overhaul in how government functions, potentially leading to both efficiency gains and legal battles as these changes are contested in court. It's long overdue. We all know it, right? The Department of Government Efficiency. This is really an amazing time. It's an amazing time to be alive that we're able to do this. It really is. It is super exciting. It really is super exciting. The fires in Los Angeles serve as a stark reminder of how we need to take care of our forest and we need to take care of our land. We need to be smart. We need to be smart and not just blame it on climate change. Oh, it's climate change. Climate change, they say. It's, Trump was saying that we needed to do things differently over there like months ago. On the global stage, the situation in the West Bank, where settler violence has led to destruction in Palestinian communities, paints a complex picture of the ongoing regional tensions. This, coupled with the dissatisfaction surrounding the Gaza ceasefire, underscores the challenge that the Trump administration might face in navigating the Middle Eastern politics, especially if his approach continues to favor direct negotiations and strong arm tactics. We'll see. I mean, these people haven't liked each other for a long time. It's like I always say. Neither side is very happy about it. But of course, a day or two after the ceasefire is announced, it looks like they are going back in and there's all kinds of stuff. So that didn't last very long. And we'll see how Trump decides to handle that. He has said that he has told Netanyahu that he's got to finish his war. Technology and social media. A brief TikTok outage in the U.S. due to recent legislative changes highlights the delicate balance between innovation and regulation. With Trump's administration, there's a question of how tech policy will evolve, particularly with the influence of figures like Elon Musk in governmental roles. And I talked about this a bit yesterday. I mean, talk about lose for the Biden administration. Like, I can't believe that the Democrats let that happen. Like, literally, there's a big screen. It says, no TikTok for about 8 hours, and then boom, You got TikTok back. I mean, easy win, easy win. We're not dealing with the smartest people here. I can't believe they let it happen. To let something like that was so easy, they could have just blocked the TikTok ban and been heroes and wouldn't have given Trump the win, but they just weren't smart enough to do that. And so Trump with the big win with the TikTok community there. Weather and natural disasters. The unexpected snowstorm in parts of Florida, Louisiana, Texas, and in North Carolina as well has brought to light the unpredictability of weather, challenging local infrastructure and emergency services. These events coincide with the time when all of these policies are under review. Remember, RFK is talking about them seeding the sky, seeding the clouds, and all that stuff. So this makes the timing particularly poignant. The JFK file release. Trump promises to release the JFK assassination files like immediately. So now we're already a few days in. I think he's supposed to release them immediately, including those related to Robert F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. Reignites public curiosity and skepticism. While his first term saw partial disclosures, the full release could either satisfy or further fuel conspiracy theories, depending on what's revealed or redacted. It is going to be really interesting. I have my own thoughts on what probably happened, but of course, nobody really knows. Good morning there, Just a Lady. It's very nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Very nice to see you. It's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, the JFK files, he saw them. He told Judge Napolitano said, hey, man, I'm pretty let down that you didn't release the JFK files. And he says, well, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't have released them either. So, of course, everyone's dying to know what's in the JFK files. I have my own theories. I guess they're more of hypotheses. Yeah, they're theories. They're theories. Economic and market insights. Turning to the financial markets, we've seen some interesting dynamics with precious metals, given that gold is down about 0.5% and silver is down nearly 1% at this moment. Here's what we might expect based on the current market trends, economic indicators, and expert analysis. Intermediate gold reaction. Gold at a 0.5% drop might be seen as a correction after a strong performance. If this is a response to profit taking or recent economic data, gold might find support in key technical areas. And of course, we have Matt's report here coming up as well. Silver with a 1% decline. Silver's volatility is apparent, influenced by both its investment and industrial demand. The truth is, many of us now, silver has seen a big run up here since we've been doing the show. It's up over 50%. But they've been keeping the price of silver down with paper, which is the futures markets and the derivatives markets. Should be, most people agree, the price should be a lot higher. Factors influencing the future trends, interest rates and inflation. The market's expectation of the Federal Reserve's actions, this is the banking cartel that runs the U.S., on rates could either pressure or prop up precious metals. Geopolitical tensions, escalation in any part of the world might increase the appeal of gold and silver as safe haven assets. Economic data, of course, strong economic indicators might reduce the need for safe haven investments, but any sign of economic slowdown could boost metals. Dollar strength, the DXY's recent downtrend, it's uptrend, and then as of this morning, it started downtrending. Let me look at that here again real quick. Here. Yeah, so as we're doing the show here, the Dow futures have started to move up. This is since I started putting together the show this morning. And the DXY is kind of popping around. It went down to about zero, about flat, and now it's bounced up a little bit, about 0.08%. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Of course, supply and demand also plays into this. Silver's industrial use, particularly in green technology, can provide a floor for its price, even if short-term market sentiment is negative. So I'm not going to go too much more into that. I did put some stuff out, but I'm not going to do that right now. Cryptocurrency and regulations. We have the market report with Matt coming up. The crypto world, Bitcoin has taken a hit with altcoins following suit. This coincides with the period where regulatory clarity is sought in Washington. The Trump official coin, currently trading at $36, reflects the market's reaction to political news. The industry is cautiously optimistic with a more crypto-friendly administration, but remains wary of regulatory hurdles. I went to the Digital Chamber events last night. It was a very good job. Perry Ann Boyne did an amazing job putting that together. She has a wonderful team and wonderful chamber. So I went to the Digital Chamber event. We had some congressmen there. We had a lot of people working for congressmen. I think we had a couple of congressmen there, actually. And I can tell you that any dip right at this point should just be seen as a buying opportunity, not financial advice and all that stuff I'm supposed to say. I'm not a financial advisor. But in my not so humble opinion, for educational purposes, any dip should be for buying, because this thing is going through the roof, in my opinion. My not so humble opinion. This thing is just going. I mean, you have everybody on board now. Remember, I've been on board since it was below $100. So to have everybody on board now above $100,000 is pretty funny, right? But there I am at the Digital Chambers event, and you know, it's exactly like you would expect. A lot of great people there, and we look forward to working with the Digital Chamber more in the future. Recent AI and robotics news. Trump's push for AI dominance is noteworthy, aiming to lead global AI technology. In robotics, Tesla's mass plans for production of Optimus and China's new robotics training around Shanghai signal a future where robotics could significantly impact industry and daily life. I can really hardly wait until I have my own robot that cleans the house and makes the bed and drives me around and stuff like that. I mean, I can't wait. I know everybody's scared of it. Not me. Let's go. I want my personal robot that does everything for me. Trump's aggressive stance on immigration includes plans for mass deportation, with 1,500 troops heading to the southern border. This policy could face significant logistical challenges and legal scrutiny, potentially reshaping community dynamics and business operations across the United States. From what I understand, they have already deported quite a number of different people. Criminal, I think some of the worst of the worst, but they are doing it from what I understand. Now, I don't think that they're going to really be able to deport the 20 million people that came, or 20 million, quote unquote, during the Biden administration. There's probably, if you include those 20 million, it's probably about 50 million people. I've been saying that for a long time, maybe more. 50 million people have entered illegally. Of course, his push is to as well end birthright citizenship. If you have someone who's come to the country illegally and another person who's come to the country illegally and they have a kid, should that kid be a United States citizen? He doesn't think so. I don't think most of us really think so. So he's pushing to do that. That's gonna have a lot of legal stuff. They're gonna fight that hand tooth and nail. They're gonna fight that one tooth and nail. As we navigate the complex landscape of political, economic, and technological change, the implications of these actions will resonate far beyond their immediate effects. Trump's administration is setting a new course with potential for both innovation and contention. Stay tuned to the Impact Money Show as we continue to analyze these developments, providing you with insights needed to understand and navigate the evolving world. I have now the report from the great Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon, of course, I think he may be traveling today. So he sent in a recorded report, and I will talk along with it here, but let me pop that right up here for us. Boom. Share my screen. And we have the market report with the great Matt Dixon.
Good morning, Bruce. Morning, Impact Money viewers. So today we'll jump straight in, and I'm going to look at Trump coin. It actually followed our trajectory, our projections basically to the letter yesterday. We said that we're expecting it to continue to push lower that's precisely what it's done. So of course we had the strong pump as soon as it's listed on Binance, which is very typical of any new listing on Binance. And then we've had a considerable fall since then. Obviously, it peaked at around 77. It's currently 35, so it's less than 50% of that level. That is typical. And bear in mind, this is a meme coin, so we have extreme volatility. And so it's only for the, for the bravest of investors, the high-risk investors who want to take a risk on a token which has no utility whatsoever. It's basically just purely, as it says, a meme coin. So it's not for it's not for a typical investor. This is, as I say, for a high risk investor, and it may be even then only sensible for a very small portion of your capital, purely risk capital, I would say. So anyway, the move down does appear corrective. So there's kind of still some hope there, because we had quite an impulsive move up with the listing on Binance, a very choppy sideways move so far, although it is down substantially. It's choppy, it's overlapping. So for example, this move up here is overlapped, this move down here. That's very indicative of a corrective pattern. And so this correction looks as though it will probably continue for some time. We don't have any impulsive movement up as yet. And so maybe some more downward movement to come. Melania coin has actually been even more. We actually said yesterday it was going to drop below the low and reach new lows. And that's precisely what's happened. It's not been as successful so far as the Trump coin, of course, but it's still attracted a massive following, a massive market capitalization in the billions. And who knows, these meme coins, they could actually use some of the money that's come in to basically re-engineer at the blockchain level and make something out of them, put some utility in there. That means they actually have a real use case, and maybe they'll have real value in the future. At the moment, this is purely speculative value, nothing other than speculation. There's no foundation, there's no substance, but it is possible that they could build some substance in. At that point, maybe it could rocket in value, but for the time being, there's no particular reason for them to appreciate. So it's only one for the bravest speculators, I would say. So that's the Trump and the Melania coin. As I say, that's for the high-risk investors. Let's jump into Bitcoin. Once again, Bitcoin has gone precisely as we expected. Nobody can say we didn't predict this in advance, that basically we had the A wave down, I think a B wave up, and we've got a C wave down, and I said it should go below the beginning of this A wave. So if I just scroll out, this is the hourly, of course. Let's just scroll out to something a bit more meaningful in terms of what the chart patterns are telling us. So we mentioned yesterday that we had an ending diagonal. This is after a long rise all the way from that FTX low of 15,000-ish. Big, strong rise, and then a third wave finishing here, with the final fifth wave of the third wave being what's called an ending diagonal. That's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's one of the few cases where overlap is possible within an impulsive wave. And that's the case here. We've got some overlap. You can see, for example, here, this wave down here, overlap this wave up here. So it's one of the few cases where overlapping is allowed within what I say is an impulsive wave. Impulse is, of course, the direction of the trend. So for now, the direction of the trend is still higher for Bitcoin. So from this wave through, we've had a WXY. It may be complete here. It's even possible that we could actually have more downward movement, a bit steeper downward movement, and have a larger, some kind of WXY down. So this is always the problem with corrective moves. You're never quite sure whether the correction is complete here or whether it become a more complex correction, because you can get a single zigzag, a double zigzag, a triple zigzag, combinations of corrections basically. And you often do get that. And also, of course, you get triangles, you get flat corrections. There's a whole big family of corrective wave patterns that could come into play here. So the fact that we have an ABC or a WXY here that could be complete, it also may not be complete. It may be just part of a larger correction. So even the corrections themselves can be fractal in nature, and they can have different waveforms. So that's why I've got 3 question marks here. whether this is wave 1 up and 2 down, or it could be just part of a larger correction that we might see a bit more downside. So we've had a lot of euphoria with the Trump winning the election, with the inauguration. It may be time for a bit of a pullback before we get the next move. So let's just see. Let's be a bit patient. I did say that the market should go lower. Even if this is just a small wave 1.
Let me see here.
Before we get the next move. So let's just see. Let's be a bit patient. I did say that the market should go lower. Even if this is just a small wave 1, wave 2 down, wave 2 should be made up of an A, a B, and a C. And if I open that out, so far from this wave 1 question mark, but wave 1 potential here, we have an A wave, B wave, potential C wave. The C wave will be expected to go below the bottom of this A wave. So we would expect even the most conservative movement down in a wave 2 would still expect lower movement down. So it's been going according to our expectation there. We've got tomorrow, we've got the Japanese interest rate decision. Now, as I said, a lot of that is factored in already. I think we've had 5 waves down, I think, from the peak here on the dollar against the yen. So this is actually aligned with, it's correlated with risk assets usually. So when dollar yen goes up, usually risk assets like Bitcoin, etc., are going up. When this is going down, very often you'll find it's correlating with risk assets and going down in value. And that's because, we won't go into it all now, but that's because this is one of the most common and prolific carry trades. There are other carry trades, but this one is really popular because the Japanese yen interest rates are very, very low. It means you can borrow money from the yen and you can invest that money into higher yielding assets. And that's why, that's basically the reason. We can go into it more in future, but that's the reason why the dollar yen tends to follow risk assets, or even lead risk assets, I would say. It's a great indicator. I love to follow dollar yen. It's one of the best currency pairs to give you an indication of where equity markets and risk assets are going. So we've potentially had 5 waves down to here. Here's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that. We look as though we're in a corrective move at the moment. I still think there's going to be more downward movement. That downward movement may not be too aggressive because the interest rate increase is expected tomorrow. It's well factored into the market. There's, I think, now more than an 80% chance of a rate increase coming out of Japan tomorrow. So because it's highly expected, it won't be a shock to the market. And so the market reaction should be somewhat muted. So I expect maybe we'll get some kind of sell-off on dollar yen. In other words, the yen strengthening a little bit because of higher interest rates. That will push this chart down. That may be a little bit negative for the risk assets, Bitcoin and so on, but I don't think it's going to be anything major, nothing serious to worry about. But it's just we need to be aware of it. And it gives us an indication, even if there's a more restrained move, it's good to know the reasons why. So that's dollar yen. Again, we've got the dollar has also been weakening, and we have the perfect bearish divergence there, regular bearish divergence, telling us the downside on the dollar. We've had potentially an ABC move down on the dollar, so we may get some more movement higher. That's not to say that the dollar hasn't peaked, but it still could move higher. So actually right now it's in no man's land, bit of undecided territory. And I think there's probably a lot of uncertainty. I know Trump talked big on what he's going to be doing with tariffs and various economic policies. So we need to see how that's carried through and how it affects the market. So I think whilst we've had a bit of a sell-off in the dollar, I think right now we just need to see what's actually going to happen. What is Trump actually going to do rather than what he said? And they may not necessarily be the same thing. Even the pound has pretty well stalled. We had a strong move down on the pound, a small correction up on the pound, and that was really more due to dollar weakness than anything to do with the pound. The pound hasn't shown any particular strength, although it's showing a little bit of strength here. That's only against the dollar, and it's the dollar that's the weak partner here right now from this point down here. It's dollar weakness, not pound strength, I would say, that's driven this. But again, bear in mind, this is a corrective move higher because there's a lot of overlap. This move down here, overlap this move up here. It's basically 2 waves up, 2 waves down, and then 5. So actually, sorry, 3 waves up, 3 down, and then 5. So it's 3, 3, 5. That's what's called a flat correction. It could be complete, or as I said with Bitcoin, it could be a more complex correction. But at the moment, we have a completed flat correction on the pound. So for now, this is a good risk reward level here. I would expect probably lower to come pound against dollar. So I'm probably expecting a little bit of dollar strength, a bit more pound weakness to come in the immediate future. But longer term, this is almost definitely corrective movement to the upside. And so longer term, we do expect more dollar strength, more pound weakness. We should see lower on the pound. We should see it go below this level of 120. So we should see it dropping next to the teens, the 119, 118, etc., and down. So that's not too far away, I don't think. SPX has been phenomenal. It's been absolutely flying. We absolutely touched. Did we beat? Let's just have a look. Did we get a brand new all-time high? The high there was 6100.8, and the high here was 6. Yeah, it's a brand new all-time high. Now it still could be. We have WXY with a completed correction here, but there still could potentially be corrected to the upside, and we get what's called a double top. Yes, we're a fraction above the previous high, but it could be a double top, and that would mean that potentially this WXY down, we've also had some kind of correction higher. So it could actually be, this is some kind of double zigzag correction. We could turn into a triple. It could be any combination really. So again, we could potentially be seeing a bit more downside to come on SPX. It's a good risk reward though. Right here is a good risk reward area. So potentially you could trade the short side, or if it breaks above, you could trade the long side. But either way, you could put your stop loss really close with a big potential gain and a very small potential loss. So I think that would make a lot of sense for any trade, whether you're long or short. There's good potential trade because you're right on a crossroads here. Yes, it could go either way, but trading isn't about knowing what's going to happen in the future precisely. It's about trading the odds, and the odds are here that you could put a trade on with a close stop loss with a large potential gain, whichever way you go. So there's a trade to be had for sure. Again, we spoke a little bit negatively, I guess, about Ethereum, saying maybe it's had its day yesterday because, smart contracts are no longer the in thing. And we know that, for example, Trump, Melania coin, etc., all the memes are basically built on Solana. So much is built on Solana these days. It's so much quicker, so much cheaper, etc., etc. So maybe Ethereum's had its day. I did expect more downside to come, and you can see from this movement down here, that would be as a minimum expectation for me. So I do think we're going to see more downside for Ethereum, and actually from yesterday, it's precisely what we have seen. So no surprises there. Even Solana has seen, we see here Solana, we again projected, we've had from the wave 5 up there, an A, a B, and pushing down the C wave now. So I do expect further lows to come here with Solana. It could even be that we've finished this cycle up here and we could actually push even further down. But all I'm saying is we expected downside. That's precisely what's happened. So yeah, no surprises there. And here quite clearly we can see some, I'm just trying to see where there's bearish divergence. There isn't actually. So no, on this particular chart, on this 4-hour chart, I don't see any divergences, but there are plenty of other signals. For example, the wave count is telling us that we're expecting further downside on Solana. So be no surprise there to see lower prices. So gold, again, has been amazing. It reached 100% projection, which was beautiful. That 100% projection of a previous level was also coupled with regular bearish divergence right from the level. So we got really good sell signal there. So again, I think gold has higher to go long term, but short term, I can see some potential for downside there. So again, whichever way you're trading, just be aware this is a good risk reward level. Again, you can trade either way off of that, but keep your stop losses close. And I think you can do well either way. Long term, probably it's still a hold. but short term, there's a good risk reward level there to be aware of. We've had a bit of a pullback on XRP, and that was to be expected. So again, we said yesterday, out of a triangle. Remember, triangle is what we call a pre-terminal wave. Pre-terminal is the one before the terminal. This is the terminal wave. The terminal wave should be made up of 5 waves. So far, I've had wave 1, wave 2, probably wave 3, looking like a very choppy wave 4 with a perfect alternation for wave 2 here. You know, this is much deeper than wave 2, different waveform, etc. So we could even potentially dip lower. But all I'm saying is I do expect there to be a 5th wave to take us higher at some point, and that should take us to new all-time highs once again for XRP. So I'm pretty bullish XRP, but I still think short term there's some choppiness. We may see some more downside to come. We're approaching the end of the month. Don't forget there's also a big sale of XRP every single month from the main wallet, basically. So just be aware of that. And I would say look for lower prices.
All right, here we go.
From the main wallet, basically. So just be aware of that. And I would say look for lower prices to basically buy the dips. But I do think there's higher highs to come on that. On a lot of the the lesser coins, shall I say, to try and put it politely, we did expect more downside. There hasn't been any particular altcoin season at the moment, so rather than lesser coins, shall I call them altcoins? WXY, I don't think the Y wave is finished yet for Jasmy. I'm just looking at Jasmy here, one of the big altcoins, or it was a big altcoin. It's dipped massively from its early heady days. And, you know, it's been very typical correction. WXY, we're working on Y. I don't think it's yet complete, so probably lower to go. And no surprise at all that price has been dipping lower, and I still think it's probably lower to go. I'll skip through a couple of them. I mean, I'll just jump into ADA. I know there's been a lot of people follow ADA. It's one of the main tokens, really. So Cardano, I think, has had 3 waves down, some kind of 3-wave movement up. So A down, B up. I still think we've got more to come down for a C wave. You can see I've got C labeled down here. So still expecting more downside. I actually went out on my Twitter, my X feed, saying from up here somewhere, we expect more downside in the C wave before we then hopefully get another strong push higher to take us above this previous high here, which is around the 132 area. So I'm hoping once the C wave is complete, then that should give us an opportunity to buy the dip, buy at a better level, probably dollar cost average around these levels down here, and look for a real good surge at some point in the future. And what could cause it? There's so many things could cause it. Let's see what happens with the interest rate decision next week. Let's see what happens with the peace process. I know Trump has been really proactive in pushing peace across the Middle East, particularly now he's got initiatives for Russia, Ukraine. Let's just see how effective that is. Let's hope it's effective, because you know there's been an awful lot of suffering. It's been absolutely horrendous. So let's hope that Trump can throw his weight. Well, he is throwing his weight behind it. Let's hope he's successful in bringing peace in throughout the world. We've got Litecoin again. It's looking as though, I'm just trying to see here, this divergence was eliminated basically. We had a divergence in place that has been eliminated. Just looking to see longer term, no particular divergence in play here because this is level. There's no new high on RSI. No divergence is in place. So basically we just have what I think is a simple corrective down, corrective high. So I still expect more movement down before we once again push to higher highs above this previous high level here of 148. But still, I think more downside to come before that happens. Oil has actually been stuck. I'll just touch on oil just to show you. Oil has been stuck at the moment. And I think there's still a lot of uncertainty. I think now there's a reasonable expectation of lower oil prices to come. This could be off the back of peace initiatives being successful, because there could be effectively a war premium built in, a risk premium built in, which raised the price. But now we're seeing these peace initiatives led by Trump So that could be pushing the price down. It could be that economy is maybe showing some signs of beginning to slow, so less oil consumption. So that could also be a reason for diminishing oil price here. But I do expect that will probably continue for the time being. So we've had an ABC higher. The C wave, actually, the wave 1, was related to wave 5, but with the relationship of 1.618, which is, of course, the golden ratio. So a beautiful finish there for the C wave, and then potentially lower. We'll get in maybe an impulse lower, so maybe quite a bit lower to come on the oil price. So let's just see. Lots more we could potentially go through, but I think that's probably enough for today. Hopefully it's been helpful. Hopefully if you're watching yesterday, you'll see that we gave guidance of lower. Right now, I'm still giving guidance of probably lower on the markets. Again, do your own due diligence, make your own decisions, do your own research, etc. But listen to what we have to say. We've been accurate more often than not, and hopefully it's helpful to you. So thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Impact Money viewers. I look forward to catching up tomorrow.
The great Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report. As I always say, world-class analysis that we give here on a daily basis on the Impact Money Show. Of course, we are live on TV in Texas and Louisiana, as well as streaming around the world. One of the things I wanted to do here at the end of the show, we had some amazing panels during our conference. Now, I didn't go live. I probably should have gone live during the gala or the ball, but man, it was just it was really something else. Let's see, leadership. First of all, we had a ton of people show up, which is always good. There's worse problems to have, right? You want to have a lot of people show up. All right, from networks. All right, here we go. As I put up the show here, I would like to, here we go. All right. Add this back to the stage.
And all of us.
Dustin Stockton.
And knowing that this is so, knowing that this and more, for harmonizing.
All right, I feel much better now. We have an amazing lineup here. I have with me my friend. We've really been kicking it off. I can tell you that. George Fajardo. He's an amazing guy. You might have seen some of his videos even on my X. Go ahead and take the break.
Well, here right now, but just share. I just want to thank you all for coming, and I'm looking forward to the amazing day we're going to have and the amazing weekend ahead of us, culminating tomorrow night with our Maha Maga crypto ball, and I hope to see all of you there.
Amazing. All right. We'll be back on stage in no time. Okay, there's a lot of introductions. You guys are introduced. Let's go ahead and get started. I have some of my good friends, as a matter of fact, that are here. I guess I'm on right here, yeah. So I'd like to welcome to the stage my good friend Brock Pierce. Yeah. My good friend Nick Spanos is going to be leading panel discussion, future of decentralization, cryptocurrency, politics and governance. Dustin Stockton. Kyle Kemper. And my good friend President Vitt is not able to make it, but he is here in spirit. And say, as we're saying our prayers, please say a prayer for President Vitt of Liberland. What's going on next? What is it? A little bit of trouble. No big trouble, as far as but yeah, he's president of Liberland. Croatia gives him trouble all the time. All right, here you go, sir. You're in charge.
I'm in charge.
You're in charge.
I didn't know that. So,
I don't know when I'm in charge, but it was 4th of July, I think, a couple of years ago. I get a phone call from Brock, says he's gonna run for president. What happened?
What did we do? Well, Trent Pool's not in the house, but I think we built some critical infrastructure that in its own way enabled some of what has us here today. And as always, the story continues to unfold. So Nick, what have we done? I think, continue to move us towards this brighter, better future. And that's where we are. And did anyone buy Trump coin last night? Woo!
Let's go, baby.
And not a single buyer. Anyone?
I did.
Okay. I'm not doing this. I mean, what's really going on here is, and you can't have a conference like this starting today. I mean, thank you, obviously, for the beautiful prayers. I hope this is the beginning of the end of an era. On Mondays, the beginning of a new sort of golden age, and one where people can openly and comfortably speak about God and the Christ and all the things that lead us to a brighter, better world. But what's changed? I mean, I've gone around the world talking to governments everywhere. I do this as a regular thing and advise. And generally, the answer amongst the wealthiest is, well, maybe the U.S. government will shut that thing down. What's the U.S. government going to do? An administration that acknowledges that the United States of America has to continue to be the capital of innovation, that we will be the capital of Bitcoin, the capital of Bitcoin mining, the capital of Web3. America's leadership is going to set the world alight. And it is so exciting. It hasn't even started yet. It's only Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, Friday night, Trump meme coin.
I mean, what?
Just riveting. I mean, I think 27 billion to make sure that we are. Explain what happened. Just to be present in this moment as we're watching this unfold is just so exciting. And I've had the great pleasure of having my hand on a 25-pound sculpture, which is just the miniature. So Dustin, tell us what we got.
Good morning. Do you guys feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump, without passing a single law, without calling a single congressman, without even giving his boy Dustin a heads up that it was coming, just changed the course of monetary policy forever. The old world order planned to persecute all of us who played in cryptocurrency. With our magical crypto coins, and our Bitcoin, and our meme coins, and our frog coins, and our dog and our cat coins.
And you get her that money.
Gary Gensler, Janet Yellen, and the old world monetary order had no intention of allowing this new monetary policy to move forward. And Donald Trump just smashed their hopes and dreams of putting people like me in cages. It is beyond belief how much the world just changed. And if you're not familiar with meme coins, this has been a booming industry, and it seems silly on its face. Like, why is Dog with Pat worth billions of dollars, worth more than many of the companies that are being traded on our stock markets? Why? Why are the tokens that had almost became a game for us find the most ridiculous thing that we could prop up and run up to expose just how ridiculous the whole system is? But there was another thing, which is the great builders I know in the crypto space. And I have a crazy story how I got into crypto. But the great builders I know, they're in crypto primarily to change the world, to empower people to take control of their own money, their own ideas, their own data. It is stealing away and cutting out the middlemen who have abused their positions of power in order to manipulate us into making decisions that are against our own self-interest. And during the Biden administration, the US government was at war with us. We had no idea who they were going to charge and for what reasons. It was completely and totally arbitrary. And so if you were somebody who was building something big that you know is world changing, do you roll it out during a Biden administration?
No chance.
Do you invest in a project that you want to like run up long term? If Joe Biden and Gary Gensler are the ones who are the regulators on the other side, of course you don't. So what do? You launch dog with hat because look at that dog. He has a hat and he's amazing and look how cute he is. And so we've had this framework, and in the background, it's still being built. And the next great use cases are so numerous and so big. You're going to watch these meme coins. The next generation, or maybe 2 generations, right, will be the new campaign finance. The way campaigns are organized, funded, and monitored with transparency for the people who donate will be the next great use case of this technology, in my opinion. And based on what I've been investing in building in for a long time. And so we are in a remarkably new world without asking for permission or without consulting with the powers that be. Donald Trump, with a single True Social post and a single tweet, has launched Trump token to more than, last time I looked, it's probably up now. Is it 30 billion, 50 billion? Where we at, Ross?
I think about 30. Remember, the revolution won't be televised. It will be memed. And if you can't beat them, meme them.
So I could not be more excited. And if you are not exploring Solana and Bitcoin, if this is your time to build, because what Donald Trump just did, if Donald Trump, the president-elect of the United States, can launch a meme coin with absolutely no purpose, no roadmap, no stated ideas at all, if he can do it, you are now allowed to do it.
Wow.
Right? The entire game has changed. Me and Kyle, Maha token, shortly after Robert F. Kennedy, who's be able to fund our ability to travel around the country and spread the Maha message. I'm here particularly, and I have to shoot out somewhere. I may not finish the panel, but I also am the lead of the project with Brock and with Kyle, and with a bunch of amazing crypto patriots. We use crypto to build a 2-story bronze statue of President Trump in the most iconic moment of courage of all time, where he rose to his feet and told us to fight, fight, fight. And that is what he's bringing to this table, and the energy of RFK and Vivek and JD Vance. No longer are my friends going to have to flee to Dubai and Bali and overseas because they do cryptocurrency. Donald Trump, with a single launch of a meme token, just provided us the cover that we need to build the future. What a time to be alive. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys, the organizers, Sophia, Velio, the crew, Augustus, my longtime friend, Steph. The time is now to build whatever it is you've wanted to do. The guardrails and the people who used their positions with their history, lobbyists, and their superior wealth and their superior connections to suppress superior technologies and superior systems. That game ended yesterday with President Trump launching the Trump token. And the game is now open to all of us. And man, the people who are going to win you're not gonna believe it, because they might not fit the old molds of all, right, like wearing the monkey suit and doing all of the things that you had to do in order to rise up in the previous system. The new system is decentralized and everybody gets an access to play with it. Let's freaking go.
Game on.
The next step.
Let's go.
Let's grow.
Let's go.
Let's grow, guys.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Kemper, and what a time to be alive. Like you said, Dustin, like today we woke up to a changed world, and now, it's accelerating. And I think a lot of people are gonna be learning from how that went down, how Trump enabled and launched it, the schematics behind it. This is something Dustin and I have been working on very closely, studying and analyzing this meme coin space, because now we're entering this age of hyper tokenization where all sorts of different projects can be very quickly spun up and come together. And before going, you can go from idea to token place to traction to then backfill building, because once you get traction online, you get start establishing communities, and then collaborations start taking place to bring the products and missions to bear. And with that, for example, the Patriot token with the statue, this was a token created to facilitate the building of a statue, but the statue is really just the tip of the spear. It's called Patriot. And what the intention is to do is to incite patriotism across America, to inspire people through that iconic individual and pose, but also in a beautiful, incredible piece of art. And it's funny, which is it's mimetic, and things as we move forward, we're in this mimetic age where everyone is approaching things. We're seeing what's up. I mean, this is how the new term will start, is with this crypto move, and the value generated by it, and the market moving, and a lot of the people in the space were all at a ball last night as soon as it launched. I think we all left and be like, oh my goodness. But, yeah. And we'll see these emerging tokens come about across all these different meme factors. One of the things that like Dustin and I have been looking into as well is called Emojify, because we're seeing tokens being launched as just emojis. So how's that going to connect to the other communities? And Solana as a chain, looking at like where the status and implementation and adoption is going to come from. Solana has very low fees and enables people to create tokens very quickly, and they're instantly trading and they're instantly out there on the market. And we're seeing wallet technology like Phantom becoming very user friendly, enabling people to just get into it. And like all of us up here have been in this space for a long time and watching adoption. And I'm seeing now from just the setup and the learning curve, we are through the inflection point. We're getting larger adoption. We're still not seeing the use cases, like the actual like choosing of Bitcoin in terms of personal decisions and societal partners. I think that's coming, and that really gets opened up with this new administration. And then ultimately the crypto parts and the money elements within blockchain are just like, the cash of our digital wallets. Blockchain technology is going to open up the full wallet. Think about your identities, your contact information, your labs, your credentials. All is going to be upgraded into these systems secured by blockchain technology in what I think a lot of us have been fighting for is a self-sovereign privacy by design solution that enables digital identity to be a tool of privacy and freedom, as opposed to dystopic enslavement, which is what is projected and made fearful, but I don't think it's quite honest. So yes, I'm bullish and excited. And congratulations.
I find it hard to believe that.
It's great. There you are, brother. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Chu. I'm the CEO and founder of QPQ. We built the Gajimara blockchain precisely because for the past 24 years, I have been dedicated to the objective of the economic emancipation of humanity. Without owning our data, our money, our assets, we actually have no control over our lives whatsoever. We are slaves. And the entire process that we see with the socialist corporatist cabal that has taken over Europe and was about to really embed itself here. I really dreaded sitting in Switzerland, looking at what was happening here, thinking that, my God, that is the end of hope. The whole thing, socialism, corporatism, they are two heads of the same dragon whose intent is to enslave humanity and reduce us to our bare essentials and our usefulness only being our own mission. There is so much more to people, to humanity than that, and we lose that when we have the duopoly of taxation, which is on the one hand that we exist in a completely fragmented world, and all of the money is made in controlling access to and between those fragments. And those who do so get to privatize their profit and socialize their risk. That then leads to money printing. These two taxes have reduced most people's work to the value of almost nothing compared to what it once was. Those of us who don't have assets to begin with are screwed. Why? Very simple. Because we're the compressible soft tissue between monetary inflation and CPI and PPI. Numbers going up. And the thing is, inflation is not CPI, it is not PPI, they are consequences of these things. Why have you not heard of me before now? Because I'm a bit of an autistic nerd and I say things exactly the way they are, and most people really don't like what I have to say, so actually the Trump administration might be the first. To what the guys have been talking about so far, I actually think that the main thing is, I think you've said it, but you haven't said it. It is about anger and frustration. It's about the suppression, and it's a way that you can let that air out of that balloon without it actually bursting. Why? It's not just political. It's not just regulatory. It's down to the fact that none of the technology actually works. Solana, deeply centralized. Ethereum, proof of concept for smart contracts, extremely dangerous to use. Solidity smart contracts, you may as well just open a port into your network and ask people to hoover everything out. Bitcoin, the most incredible proof of concept, not for what it's often credited for. It's not about creating a store of value. What it was about was saying that, as per JP Morgan in 1912, when he was defining what the meaning of real money was to Congress, it's money that is derived from the provable work that you have done to extract value from a finite resource. The great genius of Satoshi was to see that that could also be true of a cryptographic puzzle. So from that, I think lit a fire for all of us. So when I was building what I was doing the first time, I shelved it because it was too centralized. I saw Bitcoin emerge in 2009 and said, I'll hold on because an answer will come and somebody smarter somewhere will come up with making a blockchain actually work. But nobody did. So you know the story of somebody thought that everybody would do it, but nobody did it, and so on. Well, we got to that point. So in the end up, we built an actual blockchain that actually works, and open resource layer for the whole world to build upon, that all of the infrastructure can exist in an interconnected sense. And we took Bitcoin and made it thousands of times more efficient. So we took Bitcoin next generation protocol that was devised in 2017 by the professors of computer science at Cornell University, who went on to bite the metaphorical apple and build more infrastructure. And we decided not to bite the apple, that we would build a resource layer that was completely open to the whole world, that nobody could control. And that, I think, will change everything, because then you've got a resource layer that everybody can build on, do what they like with. You've got an actual form of money, and as we said, it's an actual blockchain that actually works, minting real money that really works. All of the things that you wanted and prayed for if you were a blockchain believer are here. So now you have the coming together of those moments that Trump is now in power. You have a complete transition in terms of mentality, and the technology is there to make it happen. So thank you.
First, thanks, Kyle, for including me.
Thank you, Frank.
It was awesome. And I snuck up in here. I'm Frank Riccone. I'm the founder and CEO of Burst IQ. So Burst IQ, we started using blockchain quite some time ago to really help organize health data. That's where we started in regulatory spaces. We've got a lot of customers doing that. But I'm really excited about what we said, just like the rest of these gentlemen at the precipice, because I think it's not just the crypto economy that's going to become mainstream. I think there's so much more that's really convergence in this broader singularity. You know, one of the foundational principles we always had is that there would be this emergence of crypto and blockchain to influence and to get us away from the slavery of the old Web 2.0 companies that just want to monetize our behavior patterns, influence us, and monetize what we do to give us agency over ourselves and over our digital selves. We believe in this emergence of all these smart edge technologies on the health side. So I'm kind of this bridge, you know, whether it's devices that monitor you. I mean, just look at all the glucose monitors now. They're changing people's lives. Things that, you know, watch us, that we may attach to us, that we interact with us. So the smart edge economy and even diagnostics. And then AI. I mean, AI has fundamentally changed the world, particularly large language models. But I think we're only beginning to see what's going to happen next. And that's with agents and companion agents and agent workforces and all this really cool stuff that begins to personalize it and make us better through the educational process. So we've not only been working in health, we've been working in health research. We've been working with young kids to get them to the point of build skills, to get out to living wages, to get through college. All really cool. What's at the center of it? Blockchain's at the center of it, to build trust and transparency and security. And what's the economic motivation in the next wave? It's crypto. It's a crypto economy. So you can see this world where you have this army of agents that underneath trust and security is a blockchain foundation where people own their own data. People are able to see the algorithms, the ontologies of the AIs, and the agents themselves are now digital citizens in our world, all powered with cryptocurrency to enforce really good behavior and really democratize this. So NVIDIA announced, you know, just at CES, $3,000 AI personal supercomputer. So instead of having these mass data centers, how about an army of people that are driven by crypto economies, really providing trust and transparency and security, and, you know, not another round of centralization. You know, we can build an army. That's what blockchain and crypto is all about. Really shared incentive models. And I think this is the killer use case. I think it's going to drive lots of mini microeconomies. It's going to allow me to have a Dr. Malone in my pocket, you know, advising me along the way, not only helping me, but helping him monetize his incredible brain. And I think we're going to see that across so many fundamental industries. That's what we've been focused on, trying to move policy. But gosh, what a time to be alive! Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. So I was being the moderator. I didn't really realize it. So I'm gonna do something I always wanted to do. I'm gonna ask people when we're gonna answer questions with the crowd. So what's Bitcoin gonna be at by the end of this year? Brock. One word. And the next.
Near 200,000.
750K.
I'll take a $1 bond.
One word.
No, I didn't. Irrelevant to everything I do.
I'm in the $500,000 zone. It's just going to become a reserve currency for this country.
Okay, so
And Bitcoin is the alpha. Every single thing in crypto absolutely and entirely relies on the success of Bitcoin. And in the way that Bitcoin maxis have some issues with alternative things, all of those other things are the things that have propped up Bitcoin. They are absolutely connected.
I have a question to ask you of you. So Donald Trump has been left with the poison chalice of enormous money printing, and yet still more demand for money printing. Wall Street is in difficulty. There are companies all over the system that are struggling with the liquidity that they currently have. And it's likely there's a lot of pressure toward the idea that he will have to turn on printers again. In addition to this, you have the Bitcoin maxis demanding that the US dollar be backed by Bitcoin, which can only be achieved by printing massive amounts of more money. And surely that is a circularity that undoes the whole point of Bitcoin being a store of value. So how do you see him navigating this crunch?
Well, the more they print, the higher the price goes. What do you mean?
Well, because the more you print, the higher the price goes, but surely Bitcoin moves ahead of the amount of inflation that you're creating. If you inflate the money supply, Bitcoin should move ahead of that, which means you're trying to catch a train as it moves through the station rather than actually making everybody better off.
But, is this, as a moderator, where we want to go?
Really, I want a one-word answer, but we're decentralized here.
Well, I guess we're talking, monetary policy, which I guess isn't an appropriate, subject, right? Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Money printing problems. There are some easy ways to solve that, which is more income. Who let the dough shout? No, efficiency does that, bring down expenditures. You can balance budget. It's not an absurd concept. It can be done. You don't have to print your way into Bitcoin. I do love that because, you know, I don't support the concept right now. But I do appreciate where people are coming from because number go up is
It's good.
is a big part of the mentality of all of these things. It's how you keep a movement, keep the momentum going. You know, where do we go in terms of existing policy? The basics are balancing a budget, increasing revenue. How do we, you know, grow the economy? It's with innovation principally. Efficiency and innovation is the answer to our future.
All right, so I could not be more excited about this question, right? And it seems really nerdy, but it goes back to what I started with. When Donald Trump launched the Trump token today, he changed,
Today,
right?
hold on,
Up to cherry.
today, less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
You could have bought it last night. You could have put $10,000 in. You know, a tenth of a Bitcoin, it's over $1 million right now.
And
Last night.
the same way that he just changed the trajectory of crypto policy and innovation in crypto.
For the price of a crypto ball ticket.
Donald Trump. And this surprised me in such a good way. When Donald Trump took aim and talked about creating the external revenue service. So the implication there is that he is about, and it's gonna be bumpy. I want to warn you guys, expect turbulence. Like as the old system comes down in order for the new systems to come up. But by starting with the external revenue service before going after the income tax, which is really, I believe generations will look back. And they will be like, what the fuck are those people doing? Like what? They allowed the government to take overwhelming chunks of their income. We tax things when we want them to go away. Right? If you want to get rid of smoking, you add taxes to it to try to discourage people from doing it. And yet we allow them to tax our income at incredible and complex ways. Donald Trump is about, and his administration is about to take the Ron Paul ideology and massively change the fundamentals that were poisoned and corrupted that everything else has been built on. And so if we succeed at getting rid of the income tax, and we succeed at stripping the Fed of the control, will the new system immediately work? Will it immediately be superior? I have no idea. Like Donald Trump just keeps surprising me with the awesome sauce that he seems to have up his sleeve. One thing I know is that when you take those down, eventually, whatever sprouts up, when the whole point of decentralization is taking advantage of the unique ideas of everybody everywhere to build a more efficient system that comes up. Donald Trump's about to smash the bureaucracy and smash the tools that they've used to oppress innovation and creativity and technology. It is so game on, it's insane. And for me, this is the battlefield for us is there's a momentum to these things. Donald Trump started with the External Revenue Service. If we succeed at getting rid of the income tax, I believe next, you actually might have property rights. You actually might be able to own your own property and not have to pay government. So that's what I land on.
I would be hearing that Samaga, Samaha, you know, it's, what an exciting, time. To be here.
I think
Hey, I'm supposed to pull the, hey, what's going on?
one quick comment.
Do it, baby.
I mean, and all this stuff, which is amazing. I think in our lifetime, we're gonna see the first single person unicorn from the standpoint, we already see Donald Trump. He's a unicorn in and of himself. We're gonna see this first single person unicorn with this army of AI agents and these little micro economies. We're gonna see that emerge, and that's gonna replicate because it's unlimited. You know, the possibility, innovation, and the opportunity is unlimited. We're gonna see that in our lifetime, which will disrupt a lot of these financial
All
companies.
right, very
The
good. Very-
only thing that wasn't said, we've talked about monetary, we've talked about health. And one of the other great things that we've seen and hopefully see more of by Monday is peace on earth.
I'm glad you brought up Ron Paul. I worked for Ron Paul for many years. And, yes, thank you, everybody. I gotta pull one off the stage.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, everybody. Together we can make America healthy again. Let's grow.
Quick photo.
Hey Randy, I got another home run for us, man. This exchange is absolutely amazing.
Hey Bruce, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that 2-bit exchange?
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be able to list our coins that we want that we support, and they're going to be on this amazing derivatives platform. It's absolutely awesome.
Derivatives? I love derivatives. I can't wait to be on the trade copy program.
So what I want you to do is set up an account and then send me your UID, and let's set you up with a trade copy system, and you just let it run. Copy our trades. That's it. Easy peasy.
So you want me to open an account, send you my user ID, and you hook me up with the trade copy system. I can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Hey, Matt. Hey, listen, I met with the guys at 2-Bit Exchange while I was in Dubai, and this platform really looks amazing.
Yeah, hi Bruce. Yeah, thank you again for that heads up. I mean, I've looked into this 2-bit platform. It does appear to have everything we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. 2-Bit, Toobit. They have great liquidity. They have futures platform. There's a lot of functionality that I think you're gonna like on there. And they really want to work with us. They want to work with the Impact Money Show. And as you and I both know, if they have a good product and they want to work with us, well, hey, that's half the battle.
I mean, basically, I love that copy trade facility. I love the features on the platform. It's basically very simple to use.
Our viewers only need to set it up to copy our trades, and they just do all the trades that we do. Makes it really easy for people to participate. I think they're going to love it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And yeah, it's definitely going to benefit people. I mean, obviously, with all the years of experience that we can pack into it, and people can basically benefit from that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a goer.
Hey, David. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it too. I mean, when you think of the ways that we can help our viewers earn money and be able to participate in the monetary revolution, this 2-Bit platform just opens up all kinds of doors that they don't have right now.
Hey, Bruce, I'm checking out this platform. It's revolutionary.
That's absolutely correct. And the futures platform is amazing. Great liquidity. And the copy trader program, people are going to be able to make the trades exactly when we make them and make the money that we make. It's a win-win for everybody.
Open for U.S. customers, and you can deposit money with a credit or debit card. Doesn't get better than this.
Beautiful. And what do you think we should use as a referral code?
I think we should use Impact Money. That's the one. Impact Money.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.